Good evening and welcome to the SLLET radio show live on Phantom Radio. I think I've done things, although I can't really tell what it's done because that just transitioned back. And it swapped. OBS swapped back. But very possibly one of those buttons triggers OBS. I can't remember what goes on around here. Welcome.
So have you swapped back to the camera?
I've just swapped back to the cameras. There's audio. There's audio going to the live stream. There's audio in our ears. Hopefully it's all working. Welcome back to the SLLET radio show. Season 4, episode 2, the grand finale. I'm Josh. I'm joined by Teo. We haven't done one of these since Christmas. And
no, that was the last time one was on this show.
Yeah. And neither of us can really remember how this works.
No.
So, yeah.
Yeah, this will be my last one.
This is going to be Teo's last show.
Because I'm probably not going to be coming back like you do.
No, because Teo... But you are living in Derby next year.
I am, yeah.
So we could break you in.
No, you already have to be broken in. You can't break somebody else in as well.
Yeah, but I know someone who can break me in, so I can break you in. This is all fine. Look, I'm a life member of the union. I'm allowed to be here, right?
Yeah.
Right? We think we are.
This came up recently.
Oh, did it?
And they were just like, yeah, we just turn a blind eye when Josh breaks into the uni.
Who said that?
I think it was Josephine.
Excellent.
Like, yeah, we just turn a blind eye when Josh breaks in.
Thanks, team. Anyway, this is the SLLET radio show.
It is. Ignore what I just said.
Yeah, ignore what Teo just said. I might even clip it out of the final.
It's probably a good idea.
But leave this in so that people don't know what I edited out.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. It also won't work because there's a bed under us, so that might be more challenging than I implied. Oh well. I'll steal it off. I think it goes to YouTube without the bed, so maybe I'll steal it out of that.
Maybe. Yeah.
Who knows? So we have got 2-ish hours of music. It's not all chosen yet. Some of it is. There's a section from Download, which Teo worked and I avoided. Because I work in Castle Donington, so try to actively avoid being in the office that weekend.
No, that's fair.
But no, so we've got 3 songs to start off the show with, which have hooks in the system, so this might work. Here is 3 Nights, Rotherby and Pompeii. This is the SLLET radio show on Phantom Radio.
Or is it?
That was Bastille by Pompeii. You're
Woo.
listening to the... No, that's the wrong way around. That was Bastille with Pompeii. You're listening to the SLET radio show live on Phantom Radio. I promise I know how this works.
Hey, it's been a while.
See, I was in the last 10 seconds. I was trying to remember how to do a bed, and can you tell that I struggled? Because I'm gonna put it there, and kind of hope that it's kind of there, but I can't really hear it.
I came it very quietly. No, yeah.
But I think it's deliberate.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be loud. The studio lights have come on again. That's good.
Have you gone live on the stream again?
Well, so I did nothing and it went live and now it's gone back. So I'm going to go back and I don't really know. Sky, you've broke it. Am I wrong?
Who was it? Someone was in yesterday. It was probably them.
Great. And because Phantom Chill is still playing, and I'm sure Phantom Chill probably shouldn't be in that layer. Who knows?
Do not to know.
Anyway, welcome back to the SLET radio show, secretly about running a radio show. It has been for
I'm sure the last episode was very similar because we hadn't done it since.
Yeah, I imagine most of the recent episodes have all been quite...
Which has been, how do we do this? We haven't done it in a couple of months.
Yeah, exactly. We should do it more regularly, except you're running away.
Well, I'm running down the road.
Yeah, running down the road, quite literally. We'll just need to get Ollie Ray to break us in. It's fine.
We need to stop talking about breaking into the uni on the radio, Josh. I know no one listens to it. But
Literally nobody's listening. No, we're allowed to be here. It's fine. So, Teo, what have you been up to this year?
I went on tour in January and February and came back middle of March.
So for those new to the show, which there's nobody listening, so this is 0 people. What is SLET and what do you do?
SLET no longer exists. It's SLET.
It just exists in my head.
But we're not going to change the radio.
No, we can't be bothered to redo the graphic.
So SLET is Sound, Light and Live Event Engineering at the University of Derby. It's an undergraduate degree. I'm in my 3rd and final year. And I'm
about to leave.
About to finish my 3rd and final year.
About to graduate.
Exciting. And we do tech, like speakers and
so by video. On tour, you were doing what?
I was on tour with the Varna International Ballet doing... I was the video tech and op, I was a lighting tech, and I was the assistant production manager.
That's a lot of things that I wasn't expecting that answer. I thought I had assumed you were just doing lighting. How did you end up doing literally a bit of everything?
So I went on as the I agreed to do it last year, and I was told that I'd be doing the video op and stuff for it, and then our lighting technician was a bit shit.
You can't swear on the radio.
Oh, shit. I do this every time
Apologies
as well.
to nobody listening, however.
Our lighting technician wasn't great, and he was a little bit incompetent. So I picked things up very quickly, especially when I'm doing them every day.
Yeah.
So I didn't operate, but I sort of led everything else. Mm-hmm. And we discovered a week in I was technically the assistant production manager as well. But cause
discovered.
I looked myself up in the program and found out that my official title on there was assistant production manager. So I started picking up some of the more assistant production manager responsibilities after we found that out. And then the production manager left for a different tour in the last month of it.
Yeah.
So me and one other sort of took over and split responsibilities.
Nice.
For that. So yeah, it was a bit of everything.
Do you want to speak into that microphone?
No, I really don't. I was pulling my shorts down so they were comfortable. Yes, I did a bit of everything.
Bit of everything.
Bit of everything. It was good.
But so that's your like first proper job?
That was that was my first full tour.
First full tour.
Yeah. Because I did one last summer, but I was only there for 2 weeks. And that was proper, as in like I still had to have all the insurances and everything. But
this was first.
Unfortunately, still counts in my tax that I haven't done yet.
You should do that.
I know. This one was my first full tour, and it's currently the money that I'm living off of because I didn't spend any of it in case
you needed to live off it.
Yeah.
Therefore,
so I'm currently living off of it.
Currently living off it.
I went to SLLET. When did I go to SLLET? A couple of weeks ago. Which is a big international lighting conference event kind of thing. That happens every 4 years. Are you just going to repeat every couple of words that I say, kind of thing?
Yeah. In Dijon, in France.
It was in Dijon in France. That was very exciting. I spent 8 hours or something stupid travelling to Dijon.
Nice. And did you drive?
No, I trained.
You trained?
Yeah. I was driven down to London, trained over to Paris, and then Paris to Dijon, and then basically the same in reverse.
Yeah.
On the way back, all I can taste is my lip balm, and it's kind of gross.
Excellent.
I burnt my lips over the weekend, so I'm applying. I've got like proper moisturising SPF 51 to try and help them recover.
Yep. The life of being on a stage at Download.
Yeah, in 27 degrees or something.
Yeah, it was quite warm at the weekend.
Oh, I burnt, so I put sun cream on twice.
Yeah.
And I burnt the back of my legs, which I've never burnt before. Like, literally this bit on the back of my leg.
Nice.
And then there was a deadline where my shorts started.
Yeah, obviously.
On both of my legs. And I've never burnt them before, and they were so pink. I burnt the back of my neck, which is rude because I did apply sun cream there. I didn't to my legs. And it was a bit splotchy, so you could see where I'd clearly missed some bits.
Dear idea.
And then I had just random splotches on my arms, which I'd missed, and my lips burnt as well.
Yeah, the lips. Yeah, so I was in Manchester at the weekend doing something for Soccer Aid for Adidas.
Yeah.
Where it was basically really hot or raining, or it was the live day, which was fine. So I got to Manchester on Thursday, and literally we were in a car park outside Old Trafford. So got there on Thursday, really hot, or it would bucket down. So what you can see is a Manchester tan.
Yeah.
Which seems unrealistic, but I definitely burnt a little bit. Like, the lips are still very dry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The life of being outside, unacceptable.
My 7-hour shift turned into a 9-hour shift on Monday.
Ooh.
And they asked us about extending it for an hour, and I was like, yeah, that's fine. And then didn't tell
2
us.
hours
And
later.
then we were like, well, no. So they told us before our original shift had finished. They were like, yeah, we're all staying until this time. And I was like, but you asked us about an hour earlier than that. You didn't ask us about the full another 2 hours.
Nice.
No, it was fine. We were taking the towers down at Download.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was on. We were taking all the video wall and the rigging and stuff down from that, which was fine. It was just learn how to do it on one of them and then do it again 3 other times.
Again, yeah. 3 other times. They had 4 towers.
They had 4 towers, yeah. So that was fine.
It's all right. The Loughborough lads are big and strong.
They are, yeah. It makes my life quite easy because they keep me back for the technical stuff.
Nice. Well, it's exactly like what we did with you at, when we did the open days here. I'd steal you for a bit to do the tech, and they'd do the lifting.
Well, that's what Dan was. So Dan's like the head of DRJ, or does the crew for it. And he messaged me and it was like, we really need some technical people on these shifts. I know you've not, because I haven't worked for them
for a little bit. Yeah,
it either would have been when you finished doing
Derby Uni,
or it would have been Download last year.
Yeah.
Because I've just been really busy with third year and touring and stuff.
Yeah.
So I haven't worked for them. And he was like, you still work for us. We'd love you on these jobs. We really need at least somebody technical on them. Don't worry about all the heavy lifting because we've got loads of Loughborough lads. I was like, great, Dan.
Yeah, exactly.
And I wasn't expecting them to actually stick to that. and because I was like fully prepared to go and do a load of lifting with the lads. Not that I wouldn't have been like, but no, I got there and they kept me back, and so I got relatively the first 2 days we were doing setup, so it was for a sleep token dry run overnight. We did the in and out for that, and the out was supposed to be an 8-hour shift, finished after 4.5.
Nice.
Got paid for the full thing.
Obviously, that's how crewing works.
Yeah, the in was supposed to be 8 as well, and finished after 6.
Decent.
Which was nice. And yeah, it wasn't bad. Last year was a lot worse, but then we were also in the mud.
Yeah, it rained last year.
It all went wrong last year, so I think we finished our shift 2 hours late and had only taken 1 tower down or something last year.
Yeah, because I think I was working away that time, because I remember avoiding all of the terrible traffic because I work in Castle Donington.
Yeah.
So like, if it's bad, and like it was fine this year. Shall we do some more music?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try doing the thing that I just did last time because it worked. So I just need to drag in that and then
I completely skipped over show light and went straight on to burning.
Yeah, it's alright.
We'll come back to it.
We'll come back to your Dijon experience after some Lost Frequencies, some Chapel Roan, and I might play Hosier as well. We'll see how we go. You're listening to the SLLET Radio Show live on Phantom Radio. Yes, you are. Welcome back to the show. I'm still so confused as to how OBS is working because our mics are now live.
Yeah.
But Phantom Chill is still going and we haven't changed.
Oh.
We're not in Vision yet. So I'm going to turn off Phantom Chill and we're going to wave at the cameras. Hello, YouTube. Lovely to have you with us. If you're watching this on YouTube and would like to hear the music that we're actually playing, head to SLLET.co.uk. No, phantom-media.co.uk is the safer place to go because I haven't told SLLET.co.uk that we're live.
Yeah.
Could have done that. Haven't. I should do a bed or something. Honestly, I don't know why they let me come in. If I do that and I do that. Oh, those have come on. How exciting. That's not playing, is it? Oh, because I see what I've done wrong.
In other news.
In other news. Yep.
Is that it?
No, I was ready for you to do your news.
Oh.
We're not doing the news yet, though. That happens at 7 o'clock.
I thought we were doing the news.
No,
you asked me to find news.
I did ask you to find news. Hold that
confused
thought.
me.
Sorry. Find news for 21 minutes time.
I found news.
So to finish the thought, if you're watching us on YouTube, which for some reason you can't see us again, I don't understand what it's doing because I definitely swapped it.
Maybe
but I
you
wonder it
swapped it and it swapped you back.
I wonder if it swapped when the lights came on, because the lights came on a delay. And I wonder if that swapped it, which it shouldn't do. So Sky, if you could fix it, that would be great.
Yeah, I don't
know. Anyway, we skipped over. You were in Dijon for a week.
I was in Dijon for a week, yes.
So I've never been to Dijon. I've only been past Dijon. So
it's very pretty.
I get that impression.
Yeah. We were invited on the first night for the welcome dinner bit to, I can't remember if it was like some kind of palace or city hall or something.
Nice.
But it had a very heavily painted ceiling.
Yep.
In like the old-fashioned churchy style drawing all over the whole ceiling. It was very pretty. Everything was like ornate and gold and carved and stuff. So that was very fancy and very exciting, and it was 400 people in a much smaller room than it should have been in. And we had a string quartet. Was it a quartet? Yeah, I think it was a quartet. We had a string quartet as well that nobody could hear because there were 400 people in a tiny room.
400 people in a tiny room.
Had some very nice, they were like cheese scones. They were like little ones, but they weren't cheese scones.
Oh. Like cheese scones.
Yeah, cheese scone like. And there was like wine and champagne and stuff. So that was very fancy. And that was the first night when everyone was there. Technically the second night for us because we all got in the day before to help set up with everything.
Obviously.
So I was there on the student bursary scheme, where a company unofficially sponsors me. They pay for my flights, my travel, my stay, my entry to the event because it's I didn't realise how expensive the entry was. But,
classic.
It was very expensive, and then I just helped them on their stall and set them up and stuff.
Fair.
Which is quite a good deal.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So that's why I was there a day early to help set up my stall, who didn't show up that first day anyway.
Obviously.
So I was helping on the receptions, making the goodie bags and stuff.
Nice.
It was half conference, half like plaza kind of thing.
Okay, yeah.
So there was a big hall that had all of our stalls and everything in, and there was certain times when you could walk around them and stuff. But when you weren't in those times, you were either in like mingling and eating sections because there was catering.
Yeah.
Or everyone was expected to go to these conference talks in the big conference room.
Yeah.
which was fine, and it meant that there was quiet periods where if you didn't go to the talks, you could walk around collecting all the free stuff off the stalls without anyone being there.
Yeah.
Which I definitely didn't do.
Obviously not.
No, some of the talks were really interesting. They did like 3 or 4, and then we'd do a wandering section, and 3 or 4, then a wandering section. And
were they long or short?
They were like an hour each person, so quite long. It was long days. We started at like 8 or 9 each morning as well, which isn't horrifically early in the morning, but that first set of speakers was hard to stay awake for.
Yeah.
Every day. I think one day I did fall asleep during it.
As you do.
Yeah. It might have been the last day, to be fair. The last day in the first set of speakers, I fell asleep during the speakers.
Nice.
Sorry, guys. But no, it was fine. And then in the evenings, it was a mix of chill, and there was one very fancy dinner. So the chill ones were like, one of the companies paid for all the students to go out for dinner. We took over the centre of Dijon, basically. Nice. With all of us out at the restaurants and stuff.
Decent.
And then we had a very fancy one where we were this also might have been a castle. It might not have been a castle, but we weren't in the actual castle place itself. We were in an events tent that was
next to castle, on
grounds of castle. But they lit up the castle during the event as well, which was quite nice. We were in this big event space, and we were all very fancy in suits and dresses and stuff.
I saw the outfit pictures. You scrubbed up quite well.
Apparently, I got comments the next day saying that I outshone everyone else.
Excellent.
Which,
that's how we like it.
To be fair, I kind of did. I had a couple of comments where people had like clocked that my outfit kind of matched my hair throughout the week, and then on that one fancy one, they were like, "Do you always match your outfit to your hair?" And I was like, "Yeah,
maybe."
Sometimes. For those of you that don't know, I have red hair. So I am currently. I'm not going to show you my hair because it's under my hat and it flattens my hair and it's a whole thing. Normally I have red trainers on as well, but I've got my platforms on today, so.
Because they wanted to be taller.
I did want to be taller. My outfit's very gay today.
As opposed to normal?
Well, given I've spent the last week living in the same outfit because I couldn't be bothered to unpack anything.
I see, this is you dressing up to come on radio.
Yeah. No, it was sports shorts and a band t-shirt or a festival t-shirt or something. That's what I've lived in for the last week because I couldn't be bothered to unpack my clothes and everything because I've just moved, guys. Yeah, so this is me unpacking my clothes, which are currently all over my living room floor in piles.
Classic.
And getting dressed into some decent clothes. but it's turned out very, very butch lesbian kind of vibe with the sleeveless and the tank underneath, and then the shorts and the belt. My standard belt is very So I didn't know whether the platforms added to the gay or took away from it a little bit, but in
reality the platforms were for the height.
Yes, they were. Because I'm short. I'm not really short, but
you are quite short.
I'm not short.
I mean, everybody's short compared to me.
That's yeah.
I did have to point this out to somebody on site over the weekend who was the same height as me, like questioning why we'd angled down a screen slightly, and I was like, well, all of the other people aren't going to be as tall as us. This was a made-up justification, but I thought it carried off quite well because we were like, we don't want to make them they're about right.
Yeah. Anyway, back to France. So we got sidetracked by my outfits. So we had a very fancy dinner on, I think it was the last night, or it might have been the day before the last night. And then there was loads of us there was more than I thought there was from the UK. So we all managed to do some form of the trip back together, but a couple of people, which was quite nice. There was one person that I did the whole travel back with, and she was one of my mates that I made.
Nice.
While I was there, which is quite nice. But they're all Londoners.
Frick's sake.
Well, they're all based in London at the moment anyway, but like 2 people, one Birmingham, one Sheffield, me, and then everyone else was London at the moment.
Yeah.
A couple of people from Notts actually. So there was an emerging professional bursary bracket as well that was like partly paid for.
Yeah.
So two of the people that were on that second year event production students over at Notts. So it was quite nice meeting them. Made some friends, made some contacts, got a lot of merch. Some of it nicer than others. Lots of new t-shirts
Lots of new t-shirts.
Fit in my wardrobes that I don't have yet.
Got to get back to IKEA.
Yeah. We got in the goodie bag. There was some nice little stuff. So there was a goodie bag that we had to hand out to everyone at the beginning. And there was a little gift from Dijon that they put in it as well. As some like sponsored stuff. And it was two little jars of mustard. One of them was like smooth and one of them was
crunchy, presumably.
Yeah, something like that. There was a little lemon cake like thing.
Yeah.
Some aniseed.
Yeah.
Aniseed. Thing that I thought was mint, and I'm quite glad I didn't have now. And there was something else, but I can't remember what it was. But that was very cute. People were very happy about actually getting mustard in Dijon. That's
a thing. That is a thing.
That made a lot of people happy.
Right, we are coming up to 10 to 7. I can't actually see the seconds hand on the clock from where I'm sat. It's 20 seconds to 10 to 7. So we're gonna have a little download section in tribute to Teo's adventures this weekend.
So we have Green Day, which was the Friday headliner, American Idiot. I don't know if it played or not because I didn't actually go to the weekend.
Not actually present, but did the load in and the load out.
And then Sleep Token, who was the Saturday headliner. I've got some tea about that later. With Emergence. And then there's just Taylor Swift, because why not?
Because that's
she
what
wasn't
we're
at download though.
Not at download, but here to cut off.
We couldn't get the Korn songs on to the radio
due to swearing. Here is American Idiot and Emergence. This is the SLLET Radio Show on Phantom Radio. This is the SLLET News at 7 o'clock.
Oh, I should put my headphones on.
Just putting it out there, I definitely didn't fail to count.
I think I know what I'm having for tea today.
Oh, you've decided you're going for Ked Road Fish Bar, have you?
Yeah, I have.
Dear, oh dear. Welcome to the news. There's no good news.
Some SpaceX ship blew up in a fireball.
Could you not swear?
What did I say?
Some SpaceX ship?
Ship?
Fine.
There's some SpaceX spaceship.
That's fine then. That's fine. I don't need to bleep that with a funny sound. So a SpaceX spaceship.
Yeah.
Plosives are horrible.
Exploded into a massive fireball.
Is this good news or is this just statement?
Well, it's wasting his money, so that's good news.
Yeah, that's true.
It's probably not great for the environment, though.
I'm hard no on that.
If it had taken him with it, it would have been even better.
Temperatures in the UK have passed 32 degrees on the
Ew.
hottest day of the year so far. Our studio clock, Sky, seems to think that London is 17 degrees. I disagree. I think London is currently, well, it says low of 17 tonight. It's currently 27. We'll do a full weather update shortly. But yes, but the thing is, you've got to be temperatures above 27 for the third day in a row for it to officially be a heat wave. So that was the first place was Suffolk. Today, amber heat alerts amber heat health alerts, get all of the words out, are in place across the whole of England until 9 o'clock on Monday, which is quite far away. Just putting that out there.
There's a huge Roman jigsaw that reveals 2,000-year-old wall paintings.
So this is archaeologists have pieced together thousands of fragments apparently to reveal remarkable frescoes that once decorated a luxurious Roman villa.
Yeah.
Do we know where this was? A site in central London.
I was going to guess Rome, but no.
No, site in central London, which is probably why this is in UK news rather than anywhere else.
Plastic wet wipes are to be banned from Wales in 2026.
Which I mean, I'm excited for that.
We don't really want to give you any bad news, so we're going to tell you about plastic wet wipes instead.
Yeah,
that's what we've resorted to.
So from December 2026, it will be an offence.
No, that's basically 2027.
Yeah, pretty much. It will be an offence to supply wet wipes containing plastic.
It'll be an offence.
So that making Wales the first UK nation to implement the ban. Obviously, exemptions from. Let me get there. There'll be an exemption for medical grade wipes, and the ban does not extend to business, so it's only to consumers that they are banned. So
it's just not supermarkets and stuff.
So they just won't be in supermarkets. You are very welcome. So Teo has just got up and picked up the blanket that's been living in the studio for longer than I've been here.
I thought you were going to say for longer than you've been living in the studio.
Yeah, it's been in the studio longer than I have.
I'm trying to make the most of the aircon, but I got a bit cold.
Feel free to turn it off.
No, I don't want to turn it off.
Because I can hear it in the headphones, and I'm just not saying anything about it.
Oh, I can't hear it.
So that's that. Any other news?
I keep hitting my mic.
I heard.
With my hat. Any other news?
Any other news? Scrolling.
What's happened recently? A couple of volcanoes have gone. recently.
Yeah, those are... Where are those? Indonesia?
Yeah. Oh, one of them was Indonesia recently, and then there was a big one in Italy last week.
Yes,
or
there
something.
was.
My grandparents had just left Italy when that...
Nice.
The day before or something like that. Which was lucky.
Still failing to find more good news. So, shall we go to the weather?
Yeah, let's do the weather.
Let's do the weather.
It's going to be hot, and more hot.
Thank you for that summary.
And then probably some thunderstorms.
Oh, that's the wrong thing. I pressed the wrong button. Please hold.
We're about to do some cooking.
I still love that bed. I can't actually remember where it's currently playing. It's over here. I don't know that YouTube won't have heard that. Soz YouTube. Come listen to us on the live stream. See if you can get it lined up. So, yes. Here's the weather for the next amount of time.
That was my outfit.
Could you stop?
That was my outfit in show light for the big fancy dinner. I don't know if you can see that on.
No, I could see that. I think I had seen
I
that.
wasn't showing you. I knew you had seen it.
Oh, sorry. You were talking to the internet.
I was.
The
nobody watching.
Nobody watching, nobody listening, so it's fine. Weather for the next 7 days. Let's get through this, and then we'll do Florence and Machine. Today, high of 28, low of 16. Very warm with and pleasant. I disagree.
I very much disagree
with
as well.
spells of sunshine, with a max UV of 8, which AccuWeather tells me is unhealthy. I agree. Tomorrow, a little bit more cloudy, very warm with bright periods, high of 30, low of 16. Bit stronger wind, 15k an hour. Still feeling 30 degrees. Saturday, very warm, breezy with sun and areas of high clouds in the morning. Then mostly cloudy in the afternoon with a few showers. UV down to 4, so it will probably feel a bit cooler. And the wind will be 17. So hopefully it will feel a bit cooler. Sunday, high of 24, low of 13. Cloudy, becoming windier and not as warm. UV is still down at 4.
What's the pollen count? Do you see the pollen counts?
I could find you the pollen count probably.
Because I'd really like to stop being attacked by plants.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that.
On Saturday, the day that I had to be out of my last house.
Yeah.
I ended the day feeling like 2 flowers had been shoved up my nose and were poking my brain.
So if you've been wondering why Teo sounds as though they're dying, they are.
That's why I keep coughing and why I'm sniffing and stuff, and my eyes are really itchy and I'm really resisting the urge to itch them.
So, well, I don't seem to be able to find pollen levels on AccuWeather. However, I can tell you that the forecast air quality is poor. I don't know what the scale is, but it says 58. Oh,
ran out of time.
No, that was the second go at the bed, which obviously comes in on a different feather, so it's louder. Anyway, failing to find pollen counts, but air quality
on
poor.
hay fever medication.
Nice. Well. So we'll get through the rest of next week, and then we'll play some Florence and the Machine. So Monday,
some rain.
Monday 23, high of 23, low of 13, partly sunny and warm. Tuesday, high of 24, low of 13, overcast and remaining warm with a little afternoon rain. Wednesday, high of 20, low of 12 with periods of sunshine. Thursday, 19, low of 13, sunny periods with a passing shower in the afternoon.
Rain!
There is some rain in the forecast. There is rain allegedly on Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday in the next 7 days. However, I'm going non-substantial and that it will not do particularly very much. So that has been the news and weather. We're now going to do a Florence and the Machine triple bop. Currently there are 2 songs in. There will be a third. The first 2 are Rabbit Heart and Ship to Wreck. You're listening to the SLLET Radio Show on Phantom Radio.
Check 1, 2. This is the SLLET Radio Show on Phantom Radio.
Yes, you are. This is the SLLET Radio Show, live on Phantom Radio. It switched that time,
Did it? And it's not gone back?
and it hasn't gone back yet.
Wow.
So I wonder if me updating Companion has fixed that.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm going to claim that.
Okay.
Updating Companion fixed it.
You fixed it. Well done, Josh.
Great work, everybody. Because, the lights came on straight away.
This blanket matches my hair as well.
It does. It does go with the rest of the outfit. If you're not watching on the live stream, Teo is still wrapped in a blanket because they've got cold but are refusing to turn off the air conditioning.
It's a red blanket
It
to
is-
match my hair
it's a red blanket.
and my sleeveless shirt.
Bed go.
You know, this shirt is actually really thick. It traps heat so much.
Yeah, it looks quite thick.
Which is really annoying because I wear it to cover my shoulders to stop my shoulders from getting burned. Because I'm wearing just a tank top, so I use it to cover my shoulders when I want to wear sleeveless but don't want to burn my shoulders.
I think you've just got to commit to putting sun cream on your shoulders.
I do, but they still burn.
What fun.
Or I could just wear a sleeveless shirt instead that's not a tank top, because I do have some of those. Although I lost those and I recently found them when I was packing up my house.
Amazing how that happens.
Yeah, there were a couple of things that we were like, my poker set. So I've got a really nice poker set that I got for like Christmas the year I came up to uni or the year before I came up to uni or something.
Yeah.
And we lost it basically as soon as we came in the house. So it's been missing for 3 years, and I've been so mad about it. I've looked everywhere except for this one place apparently. In the house and at home. I tore home apart back in Suffolk to try and find this poker set, and refused to buy another one.
Which is reasonable.
And then we packed up the house and we found it, and all the chips and everything are still in the wrappers.
Nice, because you never played it.
So mad that it's been missing for 3 years and it was just in a drawer.
Nice.
It was in Sky's wardrobe, one of the drawers in Sky's wardrobe.
Obviously.
And I'm sure we looked through the entire wardrobe and hadn't found it. But now I have my really nice poker set back.
Yeah, now you've got to host poker nights.
Now I've got to make enough friends to host poker nights. Josh. There are 11 chairs in my new apartment that people can sit on.
That's so many.
I have like 4 friends. Like, I've got nowhere near enough bums to put on seats.
You need to work on that.
I do.
So I'm now choosing the last song for Musicals Weekly because I've decided that's what's happening next.
Oh, what are you going with?
Well, so far we've got This Is Me from Greatest Showman and 6 from 6. I want something Hamilton.
Ooh.
Bumps. What do you mean, boo?
No, I didn't. I said ooh.
Oh, okay, fine.
God, you really need to work on hearing me better first. You think I was swearing, and now you think I'm booing Hamilton.
I'm. Can you tell I'm only half paying attention? Shocking that. So I went to see Hamilton randomly when I was working in London.
Did you?
Just like I was working in London like at some point not that recently, but like in the last year since we did the show.
Yeah, probably.
Probably. And like I'd finished work at like 5.
Nice.
And like, so I went back to the hotel, checked into the hotel. Actually, I might have checked into the hotel by 5.
Wow.
And I was like, Hamilton?
Always.
And I was like, I'll just see how much the tickets were. And they were like 60 quid.
Yeah.
Like, so I was like, why not?
Yeah.
So I went to see Hamilton.
Was it good?
So it's the second time I've seen it in London.
Was it same cast? And
I think so, but like, yeah, it's all basically the same.
Yeah.
You don't really notice, do you? You're there for Hamilton. You're very much there for the movie and stage and the and the songs, aren't you?
Yeah.
Who's playing the characters? I don't care. But I was basically sat back row of the stalls next to the sound desk.
Oh.
So I was kind of probably like 3 meters from where the sound person was sat.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is probably quite a good seat sound wise.
Yeah.
I don't know that you'll get much better in this place. But also I'm like, I wonder how much mixing actually happens and how much is just automated script.
Yeah.
Or by whatever the scripting is. Because, like, I've seen a Derby Theatre show where Jack Thomas has line by line mixed it, and I think he had something set up to follow the script. But I'm sure he was still moving the faders.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was like just unmuting or something,
Yeah.
and like he was pushing the faders to the right place. I don't know.
Hmm.
If you know anything about theatre mixing, do let us know. B-Real's just gone off. Would you like to be in my B-Real?
Go on. Me and my blanket with the air.
Yeah, you and your blanket and the aircon. Yes, we are. Fine. Let's see, because I've now got to talk on radio and do B-Real and be in the B-Real and keep talking so that it doesn't... That's great. I'll send that to you in a second.
I didn't realise that people still did B-Real.
No, very few people do B-Real. But so I will only do it if I see it come in. Like, I won't do it.
You won't go on.
I won't do
it
it after the fact. So yeah, that's my
Fair
B-Real.
enough.
I had chosen non-stop, but it hasn't actually made it into the playlist. So there we go. So it's in now. So we're going to do Musicals Weekly now, which has just about filled us up for time. Which
What
is
is playing?
good. SLET Bed 2.
Oh, okay. I couldn't see anything.
Yeah, it's over here. It's over here so that the live stream can hear the beds. But obviously I played the weather and the news out of the log, so they probably didn't hear it. Oh well. So on Musicals Weekly this week we've got This Is Me from The Greatest Showman, 6 from 6 and Non-Stop from Hamilton. This is Musicals Weekly on the SLLET Radio Show. Welcome back to the show. And it transitioned immediately again. However,
Uh-oh.
Phantom Chill is still going. So I'll have to mute that. How rude. It is quite rude. So Sky, it's nearly working, but if you could just fix it, that'd be great. I've also no idea if these... I have always assumed that these beds are license free. I can't actually remember.
Well, we'll find out.
Find out, because they have been going to YouTube. So it is 19 minutes to 8. We've kind of run out of things to talk about, so I'm now going to quiz Teo on some random
2001 trivia.
2001 trivia cards. You can play along at home. I'm going to give you the answer, and you've got to guess the question. I'll start you with an easy one.
Okay.
Hades.
The god of the Greek god of the underworld.
Close. I'll give it you. What's the Greek name for hell? Badminton.
A sport that's played with a feathery thing instead of a ball.
No. It's to do. So this is in fairness a game show I've always wanted to do. A reverse trivia game show. It's to do with the. It's. Can you not hear me?
Well, I can hear you because you're just sitting across the desk.
Yeah, but like it's easier with the headphones on, and when I've dipped the studio speakers so that I'm not coming out of them. So it's a question with an answer that I wouldn't have no, it's an answer with a question I wouldn't have expected.
Okay. Is it going to be like...
It's related to the sport itself.
Is it going to be about the history of the sport?
It's not. It's something weirdly specific.
Well, how am I going to get something weirdly specific?
So, the question is, which Olympic net sport has the fastest moving projectile? Now, can you name me other Olympic net sports, please? Because I can only think of tennis.
Yeah.
Which presumably is the answer that they're assuming.
I wouldn't have even... If I had heard that question about net sports, I wouldn't have even...
You wouldn't have thought of badminton?
I wouldn't have even thought of badminton or tennis.
What would you have thought of?
Well, I would have gone with, like, basketball or something. Because
that's got a net, I suppose.
I don't necessarily think of the net in badminton or tennis.
Yeah. It's kind of just there.
Yeah. It doesn't... In my head, it's not a net sport. Or not tied to being a net sport, anyway.
So I'm now looking at other questions, looking for ones that are even vaguely possible. They're obviously, because they're Trivia Pursuit questions, they are like weirdly specific questions. So this is a really bad and difficult game. So if I gave you the answer of Singapore, what is the question?
What is the capital of some country? Is Singapore a capital of something?
Singapore is its own capital.
Oh.
Singapore is its own capital because it's a city-state.
I don't know.
So the question is a population density question, everybody's favourite kind of question. Which city-state crams a record 11,320 people into every one of its square miles? So theoretically, obviously this is a 2001 card. I think there's denser cities now.
Yeah, no, I think there is.
Which is why this is a curveball game, because you've got to remember that the question was written in 2001.
Yeah.
Shall we do one more?
Go on.
I do need to find one more. So, see, I spotted this one earlier. I'm going to read you the question because it's a terrible, it's just an awful. It's bad. Okay. Like, what do radical feminists call history?
What?
What do radical feminists call history? The answer is herstory. Which feels like a joke question.
Yeah, that's a dad joke, not
exactly.
a question.
It's not a trivia question.
There's no way that's...
I love the passive-aggressive way this question is asked. The answer is Belgium's. Belgium, as in with an apostrophe S.
Yeah.
The answer is Which country's few exciting sites include the NATO headquarters? Like,
Do you want to know about the herstory?
yes, please do.
So, herstory is a term used to describe
radical
history written
feminists?
from a feminist perspective, emphasizing women's experiences and contributions. It's a neologism.
Neologism?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
And a deliberate play on words contrasting with the traditional, often male-dominated historical narratives. The term suggests that the conventional history is his story, and often overlooks, marginalises women's roles.
So there you go. A brief
His
history
story
of her story. Final one then. This is a 2001 card. The answer is Vic Reeves and Bob Mortimer.
I don't know who they are.
Oh, okay. They're comedians. The answer being which comedy duo starred in the Renault Clio wedding commercial. Because obviously in 2001 you're going to know that. They're two comedians.
No, what are their names?
Vic Reeves and Bob Mortimer.
Oh, I might know who.
You'll know their faces.
Vic
Definitely.
Reeves. I might know who Vic Reeves is.
Yeah, I feel as though you'll recognise their faces.
Yeah, I've just googled him. I know who Bob Mortimer is.
Good.
Because he's been on Taskmaster.
Yep. Yeah, Vic Reeves.
I don't know. I don't think I know who Vic Reeves is.
So that's the end of the reverse trivia show. Thanks for joining us.
How well did you do? Let us know.
Yeah, how well did you do at home? I feel as though we didn't really give you enough time to give any answers, but if you'd like to send in your answers, send them to the SLET send them to this email address, trivia@slet.co.uk, because it's an email address that will work. I look forward to not reading those. We're going to have some more songs, and then we'll be back at the top of the hour.
You could have a look on the YouTube chat. You'll be lucky to get a tumbleweed.
Yeah, there's nobody in there either. So, trivia@slet.co.uk with your answers. Comedy or serious, if you got any right. So, we're going to have some more tunes, and then we'll be back at the top of the hour to say goodbye. Next up, we're going to have some M83, his Midnight City, on the SLET Radio Show. So it is 8 o'clock here on Phantom Radio.
Josh and I just spent the last
we
break
have
doing
just-
the backwards trivia things.
Yeah, we have
So
just
I've
been
got one
playing
very
trivia.
quickly for you.
Yep.
The brain is the answer. What is the question?
The brain is the answer. What is the question? Which organ in the body has the most cells is going to be my answer.
No.
No?
It's which part of Oliver Cromwell's body was found to be twice the size of the average man? And it was the brain, apparently.
I think we should do this again. That was quite fun. So that was reverse trivia. No, this was the SLLET radio show.
Oh, I keep hitting my hat on the microphone.
Dear, thanks for listening. I love that another person has tuned in. I'm afraid you've missed it. If you'd like to go back and listen to the whole chaos of this episode, you can go to sllet.co.uk/show/82.
Yeah.
For the season finale of season 4.
Yes.
Which will be online in 20-ish minutes after I've edited it. That is Teo's last one.
Season 3 seasons?
You've been on 3 seasons.
Wow.
Big.
3 seasons and I'm leaving. Sorry, guys.
I think you'll be back.
I mean, probably I
Let's
won't be
face
able
it.
to help it.
No, exactly. You live in Derby, therefore you'll be back.
No, that's true.
That's it from us. You can follow us at SLLET Show on all of the socials. That's SLLET Show. Until probably, let's face it, December. We'll see you around. Bye-bye.
Bye.